Welcome back to another nature action. Today we got the one rule of nature school never taught you. Now this video is going to be absolutely fucking great. So like always, let's not waste any time. Just get right into this one, man.
Hello.
Yeah, that's cursed.
She wants to come in and does.
That's cursed as fuck. Bro,
You have been consistently lied to your entire life. And the
little
biggest source
motherfucker?
of some of the most unprovoked lies is school. School really told us that this dude in '92 discovered America, that quicksand and giant Venus flytraps were way more of an issue than they ended up being, that writing in cursive was the only way you'd ever be taken seriously, and my personal favorite, whenever a teacher would say, "This won't slide in college." Whole time, your calculus professor at 5 p.m. can end up your beer pong partner by 11. But there's one mistruth that insists on being spread.
Oh, that was fire.
Story time.
That kid
Back
just
in the
sank that
70s,
shit.
ornithologists noticed something pretty disturbing, even for them.
Need to pop.
Fola is a remote island over 200 miles off Scotland, and for generations, migratory birds, specifically Arctic terns and one of the ops of happy feet, the skua, use it as nesting grounds to raise their chicks. And a group of ornithologists noticed a gruesome trend of chicks with pretty graphic injuries. Some chicks looked like they had a leg or two ripped off. For others, the same, but with their wings. Some chicks even had their heads divorced from their body, for sure irreconcilable. And while some of the chicks somehow survived being mutilated, scientists had no idea what was causing this sudden rise in amputees. At first they guessed otters or even hedgehogs, but it turned out to be neither. You wanna know what it was? I promise you'll never guess it. I'll even give you a chance to try. Comment what you think. I bet you're wrong.
I have no idea.
The answer? Sheep. Yeah,
I was wrong. I was way wrong.
Scientists observed grazing sheep stumble across a defenseless chicken without a second thought or really even much of a prequel, grab them and eat them.
Bro,
Sometimes
what?
the sheep would snap off a leg for a premature drumstick. Other times they might grab one by the head and initiate a permanent separation, swallowing skull and all whole. From 1973 to 1980, nearly 700 baby birds have been victimized by the business end of a carnivorous Q-tip. In the grand scheme of things, that's only a dent in the thousands of birds born in that time. Then again, nobody expected sheep to be involved in foul play.
That's what I'm
saying. And that goes back to those lies I told you about. So in science class,
so crazy. Wait, oh, he's gonna do like the whole cows have two stomachs.
We're taught this rule: herbivores eat plants, carnivores eat meat, and those with culinary commitment issues are called omnivores. And for a lot of us, that's where it ended. But of course, nature's more complicated than that. It's like a spectrum, and on one end you have obligate herbivores, as in they're obligated to eat just plants or starve to death. Here you got animals like koalas, sloths, and the dead-eyed.
It's a spectrum. Oh my god, that makes so much more sense. Because it's the like he's saying, the obligated herbivores that are on the far left, and then the obligated carnivores that are on the far right, and then everything in between that picks up all the slack. That makes so much sense. That makes a lot more sense. Same concept, but obligate carnivores, like cats. That makes way more sense.
Of every kind. And smack in the middle are your omnivores. But there's also facultatives, and basically that means most of the time you'll find them at one end, but every once in a while they'll borrow a meal plan from the other side. Polar bears are hypercarnivores, with most of their calories coming from seals.
Oh yeah, but polar bears have no reason, or no choice. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they got a lot of green bushes around. Let's go back to this.
Plan from the other side. Polar bears are...
It's not like there's much green around, and this is so funny, he just pops his head up like, oh, got his ass.
Are hypercarnivores, with most of their calories coming from seals. But rarely they'll switch it up to berries, seaweed, moss, and even straight up grass, which makes them facultative carnivores.
Well, if it's around, right? Like those polar bears aren't just snacking on grass all the time because there is no grass, right?
So not an obligate like a lion. And since we're already on bears, pandas are a good example of facultative herbivores. I promise it's gonna get less complicated, but the yin-yang yogi's defining personality trait is being a bamboo merchant. But every once in a while, they surprise us, like when this panda was caught in 4K eating a past tense wildebeest, or when the DreamWorks jockey chased, caught, murked, and ate a peacock.
Yo,
also
what?
Been known to hunt pikas. That's a pika. So even though most of what goes down his gullet is bamboo, protein in the form of meat is never really off the table, which makes them facultative herbivores. And they're not the only ones. Almost the opposite. Almost every herbivore you can think of is actually facultative, even the ones you wouldn't expect. That's how the Good Vibes vegan aqua blimp has also been known to snag fish from nets for themselves. Then you got the normally vegetarian shell jockey the tortoise, turning a rabbit carcass into a cookout. They've also been known to
They really jumped to that rabbit, bruh. They took tortoise and the hare to a whole new level, son.
Consume unlucky birds.
Bro, let's be fair though.
Cookout. They've also been known
if you a rabbit and you get murked like that, and then if you a bird
plot on
and you get look at this, he's pecking at the motherfucker's face. Like, he just deserves this. This dumb little peanut brain fucking bird just pecking at his tortoise. You deserve to get murked out, son.
To be fair, if you can literally fly but get taken off the senses by a mobile boulder, that's more about you than him.
Yeah,
There was
exactly.
Even that time,
Thank you.
India
That's exactly what I'm saying, bro.
25,000 flesh-eating turtles to deal with the whole corpse population problem in the Ganges.
That's really your fault.
It didn't work, by the way. But by far, the biggest culprit of covert carnivory are deer. The same deer that's usually the poster boy for the middle child of the food chain will occasionally get calories from something like a past tense bunny.
Bruh. Today I learned that I apparently don't know the difference between an elk and a deer. Wait, what? What do you mean you don't know the difference between an elk and a deer, dog?
For the middle child of the
Elks are like big, massive, big things that are big, and then deer are like smaller things that aren't as big. You know what I mean?
Food chain will occasionally get calories from something like a past tense
That's
bunny.
crazy. He's just smacking on that
Researchers
guy.
wanted to see just what happens to the human body after the soul evacuates, and basically set up these body farms to see how they decompose. As you can probably guess, photos would go viral featuring deer chewing on human bones, scavenging through the man-made remains like vultures. In 2015, researchers in North Dakota set up nest cams for a 24-hour live stream of the hatchlings, and not only did the footage catch deer enjoying an extremely late-term omelet, the cervids actually outdid the foxes and weasels in that area, i.e. the ones you'd expect that from. And it wasn't just them being opportunity merchants, some of those deer went out of their way to get to them. And in Canada, scientists were looking to study different species of birds and so trapped them using mist nets.
That's
only for the
up.
unhinged ruminants to stroll in.
How you just gonna trap a bird with a net, dude? That's fucked.
And eat the trapped and struggling birds alive, right out of the nets. Growing up is realizing Bambi would have 100% turned on Thumper if times got tough.
Dude,
it's now
she
believed
would
that
have.
nutrient
Oh my
deficiency
god.
and
Look
a
at a
food shortage
kangaroo.
is really all it takes for an animal to go from herbivore to fernivore. Because one thing about animals, they don't care. A deer not finna pass down a chance for easy protein just because a
Look at that snake. It's just munching on a snake, bruh.
textbook says they shouldn't.
I ain't ever seen a deer munch on a snake before, bruh. I guarantee it.
Almost every herbivore on Earth is facultative, meaning they'll take a page out of a predator's playbook if circumstances call
Oh my
for it.
god, look, he's eating it like a noodle, bruh. Alright, this, I know for a fact, if you're watching this, and if you got this far, there's no way you've ever seen a deer slurp up a snake like a noodle, dog. Come on, there's no way. There's no way you've ever seen that.
That's how you get normally docile horses treating baby birds like popcorn chicken. Or that time cows in Australia were caught slurping pythons like fruit roll-ups. All because they were apparently feeding for phosphorus. Even giraffes. Yeah, they're not safe either.
Look at this little motherfucker, bruh. Yo, I'm sorry, but don't all giraffes look like they kinda on the spectrum? They look like they're kinda on the spectrum, right? Especially this baby, you're like, duh. You know what I mean? Like, he's gotta be, bruh.
All because they were apparently feeding for phosphorus. Even giraffes.
And it does make sense, though, that, like, they're eating the animal to get something from it, like some sort of nutrient or something from it.
Yeah, they're not safe either. The verticality merchants of the motherland will often
look
feed
at
off
him.
the bones of other animals. Not really swallowing them, but more like licking and sucking on it, pause, so their saliva can leach off nutrients like calcium and phosphorus. There have
That
also
makes
been
sense.
cases of the camel leopard cosplaying antelope.
Bruh, they're so dumb, bruh. Why are you spreading your legs like that when you could just, like, get on your knees? Pause.
Can leach off nutrients like calcium and phosphorus. There have also been cases of the camel leopard
Just get on your knees, bruh. Pause.
cosplaying antelope snatching up birds to feed on their misfortune.
That's
So
just
far,
pissing
we've
me
learned
off.
3 things. 1, most herbivores are about as vegetarian as their options. 2, baby birds are really the Kit Kat bars of nature.
They
and
really
3,
are.
now you see why Marty did everything in his power to get up out of there. His entire friend group would have had his hide if it got to that point. Which of
True.
course brings us to hippos, and this is where things
Oh,
get
here we go.
complicated. At this point, it probably surprises exactly none of you that the 4-legged assassination cetacean can have a hankering for flesh.
Yeah.
Hippos have been seen eating carcasses and even resorting to cannibalism. It's
Yeah, if
complicated
they
because
hungry
for a
enough.
while we thought it was the same deal as before, just animals switching it up when their primary food source is compromised, which would make hippos facultative herbivores. There's that word again. Except, more and
Big
more
cops.
scientists are coming to the conclusion that hippos eating meat aren't just scavenging or being opportunists. It's just hippos hippoing. As in, hippos will put
Hippoing,
themselves
that
in a
makes
position
sense,
to catch
though.
a body and
Hippos
subsequently
do be
feed
out
on
there
it.
just hippoing.
There have been reports of hippos murking livestock and seemingly
12
predatory
cows.
assaults. And some even believe hippos will purposely park themselves in a river migrating animals have no choice but to cross, just so they can turn the casualties into calories. Sometimes that
Makes
involves
sense.
punking crocodiles out of food. And of course, you already know, hippos are not above feeding off friendly fire. All this means, hippos might not even be herbivores at all, but identify
Yeah,
closer
just
to the
stealing
omnivore
the
side of
kill
the
from the
spectrum.
fucking
And that's why it's
lions.
complicated, because now you're probably asking, what's the difference between a facultative herbivore and a straight up omnivore? And there's an answer. I just really couldn't tell you. Like, you could say facultatives eat mostly plants but can resort to meat as a fallback,
yeah,
where
you're
omnivores
fucked,
can
dude.
normally
You're
go either
stuck
way, but
in
I'd be
the
lying if I said I
mud.
didn't just make that up on the spot. The moral of the story? It's way more complex than just putting labels on things and calling it a day. For example, that is a common
What the fuck is that thing? That's a deer goat mix. This is what you get when a deer fucks a goat, bro. You get this thing.
diker, and it's an antelope less than 2 feet tall found in sub-Saharan Africa.
antelope
And I could
less
be
than
wrong, but
2
I'm pretty
feet
sure it's the
tall.
only
Hello?
antelope that regularly eats meat. Along with the shrubs and grasses you'd expect, the meal plan for this antelope undertaker often involves combing through corpses, along with lizards, frogs, small rodents, and, you guessed it, baby birds. And because a
Yeah.
good percentage of their diet requires other animals to die with the T sign,
Everyone be snacking on low baby fucking chicken nuggets, huh?
I'd call the diker an omnivore.
A
But
diker?
then,
That's
you
his
got
name?
this,
Is the diker?
The tree-loving, pretty privileged acorn hoarders of the rodent world. Many will tell you that with a grocery list of mostly plants, fruits, nuts, and seeds, the squirrel is mostly herbivorous. But squirrels are also infamous for raiding birds' nests and turning pre-meat poultry into protein. And yeah, they do this a lot. On occasion, you'll see squirrels pack up chickens and snakes.
Oh, look at
There
that,
was
just
even a
eating
story
a
of
chicken-
a pack of Russian
fucking
squirrels
chicken wing
ganging
you
up on a
found?
stray dog and eviscerating the canine alive, each scurrying off with their share of flesh. Yeah, not so cute now. They're not the only rodents that go rogue either. Normally, grass-eating prairie dogs have been known to savage baby ground squirrels, and on rare
Oh.
occasions, even eat the remains. In case you're curious, they do this by shaking the baby violently until their existence gets revoked. That's not
Well,
even my worst rodent fact in the chamber.
that
In
makes
1995, a 43-year-old woman was found deceased in her flat and with facial lesions and lacerations, and the fact that she was naked from the waist down, first responders thought it was a special victims unit kind of crime.
Yeah.
Except it was later determined that she had expired to pneumonia. The desecration of her corpse was caused by her pet golden hamster. Not only did the pet feed on her vacated vessel, law enforcement would find the hamster's makeshift burrow containing human skin, flesh, and muscle tissue. But that shouldn't even really be a surprise since hamsters
Oh, hell no, bruh. And look at him. Look at this guy, like, I'm gonna break this fucking bar and get out. Just wait till I get out, you fucking bitch. Like, look at this.
are known cannibals,
I don't
but what
fuck
you
with that.
might not know is that sometimes it can be caused by corn. Researchers at the
Corn?
University of Strasbourg found this out by accident when they tried to figure out why the female hamsters under their care kept dominating their own children.
Damn.
Through some likely traumatizing trial and error, they figured out that just a corn diet was even the hamsters missing vital crucial vitamins.
Oh my god, that makes sense. Yeah, because, like, when you be eating corn, we don't process it all the way, right? That's why, like, motherfucker. That's gotta be why, 100%.
Specifically B3. They figured that out because once they added B3 back into their diets, the mother hamsters suddenly remembered how to mother. And the crazy part is, that can happen to people. Vitamin B3 deficiency can lead to pellagra, a disease associated with diarrhea, dermatitis, dementia, and eventually dying. So in a weird twist, an unbalanced
So
diet
you
can
need
really lead to
B3, that's good to
spawn-wrecking
know.
rodents, and they're not the only known cannibals in nature. Chimpanzees are a great example of animals don't
Bro, look at this fucking thing. This thing is just so cursed, dude. This is just like, oh my god.
care. Chimps have been known to de-life their rivals and devour the body. Now to us, it's horrific and it makes chimps the spawn of Satan. To a chimp with no legal system or a sense of morality, just a will to live, it's common sense, murking your
By the way,
rivals
that
to
was the
protect your food
thumbnail
supply
too,
and not letting
100%.
easy protein go to waste. And before you judge, early humans reportedly made the brains of terminated children a somewhat regular part of their diets.
That's
but I think people
wild.
forget chimps aren't just violent pseudo-vegans, they're legit predators. As in,
Yeah.
they'll work together in coordinated attacks on prey like colobus monkeys. Which, you know,
Hunting down smaller monkeys, dude. That's so insane. Rogan fucking talks about that a lot too.
isn't all that
Chimps
different
are
from
nuts,
getting disemboweled by a pack of Olympic
I don't
level
fuck with
parkour
chimps,
zombies.
man.
They've also been known to hunt
They
bush
can
babies,
vibe out there
that's a
in the-
bush baby,
in the
by using
woods.
spears. But with all the chimp carnage on this channel, them having carnivore tendencies should really be no surprise. The plot twist is, even the pacifists of the
Oh
great
my
apes
god, look at the little guy. Ah!
can be on predatory timing. Most people, including me about 2 weeks ago, see orangutans as a good vibes hippie vegetarians of the primate world. Which is almost true. Ginger apes eat mostly the stuff you'd expect, you know, fruits, figs, leaves, maybe some termites to go with bird eggs. But then you got this, an orangutan tearing apart a slow loris. the same one known for being venomous, which orangs figured out how to neutralize by using the loris' natural weakness, blunt force trauma in the form of a bite through the skull. Now,
Bruh, blunt force trauma, yeah? Teeth through the skull normally fixes that
to
problem.
be fair, a meat-eating man of the forest is remarkably rare. But then again, chances are, before this video, a good number of y'all probably thought orangutans were only a threat to pieces of fruit. The same way a lot of people
No.
feel about toucans.
I never didn't think
well,
that. I know orangutans can just like rip you apart, and I don't fuck with that. You know what I'm saying? Look at that thing. If an orangutan really wanted to, it could just grab you by the arms and just rip you apart, bro. 100%. There's no way. And anything that can just rip me apart personally, I don't fuck with that. You know what I'm saying? There's lines, and I try to avoid lines around.
roided up woodpecker, which is actually what toucans are, the more you know, has also been known to put bats on permanent leave from life.
Yeah, you're catching
that's
bats
what
with that
Buffalo's commercials
massive
show you.
beak. Holy
They're also
shit.
one of the many animals on the list of
Oh
population
my
control
god,
for
nothing's worse than just getting squished in that beak, and then thrown up and
baby
swallowed.
birds. Oh, you
Look
thought that
at
was a
that,
mammal
choke
thing.
down.
Well, toucan play that game. Yo,
Fuck
who
no.
I did. I wrote it. I'm sorry. But birds in general will eat virtually anything that doesn't pack them up in the process. Seagulls have been seen scarfing down squirrels with zero remorse. And I'm pretty sure there's at least one person in the world down a dog thanks to this
Bro,
flying
that is
antichrist.
just
But the biggest
insane.
example of feathery f***ery is what happens on Malcus Island. This is where we go full circle. This island off the coast of South Africa is a
Okay.
nursery for the thousands of Cape gannets nesting here. Which would probably be a
That's
good idea
way too many birds, bro.
if someone ain't snitched to the pelicans, because a population of white pelicans started traveling to Malgus just so they can swallow gannet chicks whole,
Oh
often
my
right in front
God.
of their parents.
Look at
and
that.
if one was unlucky enough to have both parents out at sea, that's just an easy lick for this Attack on Titan pterosaur.
Dude, look
It
at
gets
that
worse when
fucking,
you realize
look at that fucking thing. Hell no, bruh. Like, pelicans are cool when you need a ride out of the ocean to escape some seagulls and shit, and like if you a fish. But other than that, bruh, pelicans pretty
the
scary.
half-digested, fully molested baby birds often end up being
Look at
regurgitated
that.
for the pelican progeny to eat. And you thought they just ate fish.
Oh
Predators
my
come in
God,
many
look at
forms.
that.
One island in the Pacific is home
Look
to
at
one of
that.
the
Look
most
at a
unlikely.
bird.
Because if you bleed on the wrong island, you can attract a pack of coconut crabs. Not only is this satanic manifestation in the form of crustaceans,
Dude, what the fuck is that? There's no way it's that big. That thing is, I don't even know. What the fuck is that?
attracted to blood, they're more than enthusiastic scavengers. In a study done on Nikomoraru Island, it took the homicidal hermit crabs a week to completely undress a pig carcass down to the bones. But with pinchers strong enough to humble a coconut, the killer crabs are more than capable of catching their own prey, especially when they can climb trees and ambush sleeping birds. This
Damn.
video was taken of a crab after it had snapped the hollow bones of a seabird. The part you don't see is where a group of crabs arrived at the injured and incapacitated avian and proceeded to tear the bird apart.
Yeah.
They've also been known to make a meal out of
That's
rats,
insane.
cats, and maybe even humans.
And
There's
obviously
a
other
grisly theory
crabs.
on the disappearance of Amelia Earhart was that a cluster of crabs got to her before anyone else could. And the worst part? There's no guarantee she was relieved from life by the time they got to her. Because even though Mr. Krabs on creatine normally goes for fruit, just like most animals on Earth, they're only as vegetarian as their options. Hug your loved ones, stay safe out there, and
Yeah.
I'll see y'all in the next one. Oh, speaking of
Dude,
which,
I can't believe it's already over. Damn, we flew through this fucking video.
my eye's fine. I got LASIK, so I look like I lost the fight, but I also got the gift of sight, so
You got LASIK? Oh, that's sick. Doesn't that like fix your retinas or whatever the fuck?
it's alright. Alright, peace out.
The final clip, let's see it. Locked up.
Cook it now.
Yo, what the fuck are these guys doing?
No, so we're saving a pelican.
I can't tell if he's trying to put it down the bird's mouth or take it from the bird.
I cook the fish, so
Yeah, she's a little nicer than you.
yeah, I guess.
He's trying to take the fish.
Hooking him.
That's
Wow.
Yeah.
We're saving the pelican.
Okay, go. Let the bird go.
Oh, they saved him.
Good birdie.
Good birdie.
he's
Okay,
doing
that's
much
sick.
better now.
That's fucking fire. Come on, that was cool. Alright, man, what a fucking absolute fucking great video, like always. Yo, hey, make sure to go subscribe to Casual Geographic if you haven't already, man. Damn, dude, what a fucking banger, dude, what a banger. Take care of yourself, stay safe, and I'll catch you next time, man. Deuces, 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 deuces.